The insights gained at SEMA months ago are still fresh in Dan's mind as day 2 on the SSR gets going. With the vehicle prepped, the foundation is laid. But with only 2 days to go, will there be enough time to completely transform this 2003 Chevy and put the pieces back together? Dan has begun work on the metal frame that will hold the amplifiers in place. Since the SSR is only a 2-seater with limited space, there's only one place for the amp rack to go: in the bed of the truck. Looking like a blacksmith out of the Old West, Dan works by hand to fabricate the metal amp rack. Unlike a blacksmith, Dan has one major advantage: power tools. After rinsing off the rack, Dan lets it cool so that it can be painted. Meanwhile, the final touches are being done on the sound treatment. With the amp rack frame painted and drying, Dan moves forward with the speaker grills for the dash pods. Using custom-made grill templates and a hydraulic press, he molds the wire mesh. The finished pods will be the only ones of their kind. The new speakers for the front doors will be bigger than the original ones, so Pierce works to fabricate adapters that will accommodate the larger size. Meanwhile, Dan continues refining the dash pods. Since they will need to be painted by a specialist, Dan needs to get them to a final stage so they can be picked up as soon as possible. Next, Dan begins preparation of the board that will hold the rear subwoofers. For this particular application, the guys have decided to go with a design called an infinite baffle. With the door speaker adapters installed, Pierce focuses on prepping the installation of the amp rack frame. The guys want to make sure the amp rack is level with the truck.
You got your punch or something to mark it. So this amp rack, we want the amp rack to be level with the vehicle, you know.
But that assumes the truck is actually level.
Yeah, see, it's 0.3 degrees off. See, when he was in there, it was 0, 0. Well, we're going for accuracy, right? It's just fancy schmancy way of doing it.
With the clock winding down on day 2, Dan and Pierce have made significant progress. But wrapping up this job in just one day might be a long shot.